Hello, inspiring professionals. Welcome back to Evolve Quest. In this video, I want to discuss with you ways that you could direct your job search in order to navigate this very tough environment that we're facing right now due to the outbreak of coronavirus. This video will be useful for you if you're either in between jobs and you are just trying to figure out how you should rethink your search right now, or maybe you are in a job and you were looking for to make a career change and you haven't taken that step yet and you're figuring out what your options are right now, or you're someone who was furloughed and you're now thinking what you should do next in your career. Before I go into the detail, do subscribe to my channel because I often share videos here with ideas and tips on how you can create a career you love. So if you're looking for a job right now, there are two things to reconsider. Number one is where you're looking for those opportunities, which industry sectors or specific companies, because there are many that are going bankrupt that are not going to do well in the aftermath of this crisis. And number two, how you look for those kind of opportunities, because some of the methods that may have worked for you in the past, like looking for jobs online or contacting recruiters, may not be yielding a lot of results. And this is really time to rethink how you do your search, as well as possibly what you do. It might be a good time for you to rethink what you do professionally and align your next career steps with your strengths and things that you're passionate about. So I'll make a series of videos on this topic. So in this first one, we are going to talk about where do you need to look in order to be able to still spot the opportunities in the career market right now. So what is happening in the world right now is unprecedented. It's unlike any other crisis we have seen in our lifetime. So many people I speak to, they feel like they either resisting the change and they want to continue doing things the way they used to do before, even though those methods are not working anymore, or they feel like they should just put everything on hold and restart their search in a couple of months when we're starting to understand what's really happened and which companies and sectors are thriving. And what I think is important right now is to be able to spot opportunities or companies or sectors or ways of doing things that are actually going to move you forward in your career right now and really use this time productively. I'm going to go through a list of companies and sectors that seem to be thriving or surviving the crisis better than others. Obviously, there are no winners in these times, and yet there are certain services or products that seem to be offering what people really need right now. And those type of companies need to hire a lot of people, they need a lot of support. And these are the type of, if you are looking to continue your search right now, these are the places that you want to consider applying to. And this information comes from my online research and also anecdotal evidence by speaking with my clients across different sectors in terms of what they see. So this is not a complete list. So what I invite you to do is think about, if you were to apply this approach to look for companies that are thriving or surviving this crisis in your specific sector, I invite you to share in the comments or just make notes for yourself. Where are those specific pockets of opportunities within your sector, however small they may be? So first of all, let's look at the overarching themes across different industries. So number one is a theme around digital transformation. So any types of product or service that is helping us to do more work, more engagements online versus offline. And this may include a lot of sub-themes. So I'd love for you to share what do you see is what type of companies and maybe even digital transformation agencies that are thriving right now. As a subsector of that is the theme around remote work. And it may mean specific companies or startups that are enabling people to be able to connect and work effectively remotely. And just off the top of my head, I'm thinking platforms like Zoom, like Slack, Monday.com, House Party, which no one apparently heard about a month ago. Now it's exploding. So remote working, it's about looking for opportunities that maybe have most of the stuff working remotely. They don't have the office, they don't have the huge overhead. So maybe they have not suffered as much during the crisis. Another theme that has been developing for many years, and it is a fact that more and more of our work is going to be, less of a full-time opportunity and more of a gig economy, or freelancing. So it's a thing that has been developing over many years, but I feel that this, the current crisis that we are going through is going to really speed up this movement of people doing less of a full-time office-based positions and more of work on different projects for different types of companies using the expertise that they have developed working for large corporates, for example, over the years. Another thing for you to pay attention to are very large companies that are likely just to make this through this crisis. So I'm talking about market leaders in whichever industry you're in. It could be Google or Apple in the tech world. It could be the JP Morgan or Goldman Sachs in the banking world. So whichever companies are in a way are too large to fail and the government is kind of likely to bail them out. So this is the kind of companies that people notice there are still opportunities there. And of course, anything delivery based, like within a variety of sectors, is another thing that is definitely thriving right now. And if you look beyond delivery, so if you look at an overarching thing within your sector, something within logistics and supply chain management. Okay, so now I wanted to actually go a little bit deeper into specific subsectors and even companies that are benefiting and that are seeing increased demand in the product or service as we're going through this crisis. So please do share your ideas in terms of what it looks like for your specific sector. And if there is anything I missed out on, I'd love to have more ideas from you. So first of all, consumer is obviously, anything to do with food retail, food production is something that obviously seeing a huge spike right now. Also online, a variety of online food products, including vitamins and supplements, are very busy sectors of economy. And something, if you are in the consumer sector, something that you should consider, as well as, anything to do with online shopping and delivery, like Ocado, for example. Anything to do with restaurant, takeaway business, Deliveroo, Just Eat, the companies that need additional resources right now. And another part of this consumer angle are large marketplace companies like Amazon, for example. So the news came out that Amazon is hiring about 100,000 people in the near future. And that is not just within their warehouse facilities, but also there are a lot of jobs in HR, technology, operations, all across the board. So if you have any of those relevant skills, it's worth trying, getting interviews or starting these conversations with companies like Amazon. Technology. So that's an interesting one because there are some companies that are going bankrupt very soon or not getting the next round of investments from the venture capital. And yet I'm hearing about all sorts of random and interesting, fascinating startups that are mushrooming and doing super well as a result of the crisis. So think about, like, if you work in tech, please share some ideas. But what I've seen through my research is anything to do with online conferencing, Zoom, TeamViewer, Slack, etc. But some areas of fintech, financial technology, online entertainment. I think we're all bought into the value of the likes of Netflix right now, Spotify, Deezer, etc. All of those, various streaming platforms are interesting companies to consider. And, all these different types of startups. So something around home training and exercising, startups that, since people can't really use the gym right now. So other sectors to pay attention to if you have experience in it are healthcare, private healthcare, commodities. There are particular subsectors within commodities that are continuing to do well. For example, trading in copper is faring well because it's used in technologies. Finance. So if you work in finance, the places to look for sort of safe haven through this crisis are large banks that likely get bailed out by governments. Pension funds, they have a very long investment horizon, so they are set up to withstand the shocks to the economic system, as well as some of the more creative financial technology opportunities. There you go. There are quite a lot of ideas here. Some of them may not be quite relevant to you, but I just wanted to throw all these balls in the air, just to show you that there are spaces in the economy that are where you should be able to find interesting opportunities for yourself. So if you want to come out stronger out of this crisis, you got to think creative, you got to think outside of the box, you got to pay attention to maybe not very common, but very specific opportunities where you could apply your skills and experience and benefit those companies' growth. So please do share your ideas. What are you taking away from this? So I'd love to hear, as a result of these ideas, what specifically are you going to research, or maybe types of opportunities you're going to pursue. Share it in the comments below, as well as please share with others maybe your specific ideas of where people could look for safe haven or for companies that are thriving in these very difficult times. Support each other, stay well, make sure you're looking after your health, exercise, look after your mindset. In the next video, I'll share with you the tips of how you can think about changing the way you approach the search in order to land the opportunities that you're looking for or get your next job. So do stay tuned for the next video, subscribe to my channel, look after yourself, and I'll see you next time.